It's almost a bit disappointing to revisit her because I feel like over the years her content or the quality of content and information has kind of declined a bit. So the day has finally come. I've got a haircut. I'm no longer looking like Justin Bieber from Never Say Never. A lot of the content on my channel is basically analysing, reviewing influencers and their technique, their workouts, and it's essentially me trying to give an informed approach on what they're doing and whether it's worth you doing as well, whilst trying to provide some educational, informative content and a little bit of humour if I can. But I also acknowledge I'm probably not that funny. So today we're going to do a tier list on Gymshark athletes, and there are a few things I want to say before we get into the video. This tier list is not based on who they are as people. I don't know them as people. This tier list is merely based on the quality of their content and information. Informative content doesn't appeal to everybody, and that's absolutely fine. I was going to do this as a whole, like all athletes included, but then I realised that Gymshark have near 150 athletes on their books. So I figured obviously I'd ask you in previous videos who you liked and who you disliked, and then I'd essentially choose the top 20. So it's going to be a very quick analysis, a quick overview of what I've seen and what I've experienced through researching these athletes. And don't worry, a male edition is coming in the next few weeks. The dominant audience of this channel identifies as female, therefore it kind of made sense to produce a female tier list first. A hat or something similar and different in every video. Therefore today we're rocking a tiara because I got a haircut and I'm feeling pretty. I don't really know how to put these on because obviously I don't wear them often. So, I'm split into 5 sections. Top tier being the best of the best. Good source being I would highly recommend you follow this person. Meh is almost like a no comment section. Brass obviously being TFNL slang for essentially not good. And do not go gentle is a reference from my favourite movie being Interstellar. That's bottom source. We don't appreciate. Let's crack on with the tier list. Lucy Davis. Straight to the top, no question about it. Solid training advice. Great emphasis on compound movements and their importance. Bloody beautiful technique. Probably one of the best people to follow if you are looking to build muscle. Lilly Sabri, straight back to the top. She speaks about progressive overload throughout her videos. She provides fun home workout examples that actually have a purpose. Someone who's looking to burn calories through home workouts would probably benefit a lot from looking at Lilly. I think my tiara is falling down. I think my head's too big. It can't fit properly. Hanna Öberg. She lifts heavy. She lifts well. Sometimes there are a few movements I'm a bit iffy about. She's strong. She's a great role model, and she promotes a fantastic message for those looking to get in shape. I'm going top tier. I think Hannah's up there. I think she's doing a fantastic job, especially recently. Serena Abweh. Look, I can't pronounce her last name. I'm really bad with names. Always have been. Please don't laugh, or if you do laugh, let me know you're laughing in the comment section below so it's funny. She's a powerlifter, so she's shifting some big weights. Her technique is bloody phenomenal. And her platform's more of a training log from what I've seen, which is absolutely fine. We're gonna go good. We're gonna go good. Whitney Simmons. As a whole, she does lift well, and she does provide a decent selection of movements in most cases. She has a very cute dog, and her home and gym workout examples are pretty decent. So for that reason, I'm probably gonna go good. Before we carry on with the video, you know I've got to interrupt you just for a second. If you do like these types of videos and you want to see more of them, 150 likes down below, I would really appreciate it, and it obviously lets me know that you like the video. And if you're new to the channel, or perhaps watch occasionally and haven't already, I really appreciate if you did take the time to subscribe. It takes a few seconds, and if you really want to make me big smile, big happy, and wear a tiara in public, then click the little bell next to it and get notified when I upload every week. At the end of the video, I'm going to cover a question from the previous comment section, being comment question of the week. If you want to ask a question, have me answer it at the end of the next video, drop it down below in the comment section and let me know what's going on. But I won't keep you any longer, I do apologise. We'll crack on with the video. GainsByBrains. Compounds are a yes, she loves a compound movement as I do. Technique is pretty good in the grand scheme of things, and she doesn't overcomplicate what she's doing, which is obviously what we love to see. I'm a simple man, as most of us are, but I like simple things, and training is one of those things. She loves a pre-workout as well. The last time I had pre-workout, it was Christmas Eve last year, so 2020. But let's just say I ended up leaving the gym early, spent 3 hours on the bathroom floor contemplating life. I didn't sleep for about 36 hours, and it was not a good Christmas. I think I'll put GainsByBrains in good source. I think she is putting some good stuff out there as a whole. Linda Sun. She does promote a good message surrounding self-care and self-love, which is what we like to see, so that is good. In one of her videos, she almost implied that you could essentially lose weight by changing your mindset rather than actually adapting and altering your diet and activity accordingly.
I eat less calories or count my calories. No. I eat the exact same foods, just with a different mindset.
I know calorie counting isn't great for a lot of people and a lot of people don't like it, but for me personally, I do think calorie counting, provided you can do so with balance and in a healthy manner where you're not obsessing over it, is a really great way of tracking how much you're eating and how much you're expending, so you can essentially have greater control over how much weight you lose or gain, whatever your goals are. I'm going to say based purely on her information, not on her message, but on her information, I'm probably going to lean towards putting her towards breasts. And I don't want to do it. I don't like to say don't follow anyone. Stefanie Joshi. Firstly, she loves peanut butter. I hate peanut butter. I think it's very overrated. I would actually say it's brass. If peanut butter were on this list, it'd be do not go gentle. I really despise it. Please don't attack me. And if you do attack me, please be gentle. I bruise easily. A lot of the videos are very similar to the types of videos that Matt Does Fitness makes, which is very much like, I ate this for 24 hours, or I did this, etc, etc. Regarding promoting a good message surrounding eating and whatnot, probably not the best. The thing with Stefanie is that she can eat a lot. There's always the issue that people might assume that they can do the same. More of an entertainment channel, less of an informative content channel. She's not necessarily pushing out any bad information, but she's not really pushing out any good information either. So I think that probably justifies a mare more than anything. Savannah Wright. She speaks quite well about body fat, genetic limitations and considerations, which is great. A lot of people don't do that, so I like seeing that.
Abs depend on genetics, your body fat percentage, and also what your diet/workout routine really is.
And she seems to be pushing out a good base level of information. As a whole, I actually say most of her content's pretty good, and I've been relatively impressed with that, so we're going to go good source for that. Moroney. She loves the Bosu ball. You know I don't tickle the Bosu ball for most people. I will pop it again, and that's not a good time for anyone. She actually has a really good approach to training outside of free weights. And for that reason, we're going to go good source, because like I said, a different approach to the generic free weight approach, and one that I think people could actually benefit from if that tickles you. Mr. and Mrs. Muscle. They seem to be very focused around circuit workouts and home workouts, which is actually fantastic, especially considering what's been going on for the last year and a bit. In a lot of cases, they provide modified versions of the movements. Their home workouts are actually really, really good. I'm a big fan. So I'm going to go good source. Not quite top tier, but it's good source. I think my head is honestly too big. I've always had a wide head. That's why I used to struggle to wear hats. Also, my forehead's massive, so that's another thing. Brittne Babe. The information surrounding her exercise selection and her workouts does lack a bit, but her choice of movements and her workout examples as a whole are actually pretty good. But in fairness, there's quite a lot of good information surrounding nutrition, especially in her captions. Again, not quite top tier, but not far off it. I'm actually a fan. Demi Bagby. Someone I know who can hold her breath for an extended period of time underwater. Good technique, and her workout examples are relatively good. There is quite a severe lack of them, and there's also quite a severe lack of informative content. For that reason, you know, I'm going to have to go meh. The potential to be amazing is there, but the execution is maybe not quite there. Denice Moberg. If you've seen the video, you'll get the reference. If you haven't seen the video, I sound stupid. A lot of her content is surrounding working out while pregnant, and to which I think it's amazing. Although you have to alter and adapt your training slightly, lifting weights and continuing to work out whilst expecting a baby can actually really benefit the pregnancy process and make the labour process far more manageable. I'm bouncing between top tier and good at the moment. I really am. So I may come back to this. Tell me he doesn't get bigger every day. Your breath is getting better too. This is an improvement. You're a top tier dog. You know that. You're a top tier dog. Loves a cuddle. He loves it. He's my little puppy boy. Oh, we're going back. We're going back. Be free, my child. Are you done? Nikki Blackketter. I used to be a massive fan of Nikki back in the day. It's almost a bit disappointing to revisit her because I feel like over the years her content or the quality of content and information has kind of declined a bit. She used to be big into lifting heavy back in the day when she was with Christian, but obviously her focus has shifted, which is fair enough. It's great that she encourages people to lift weights and perform compound movements, and she has good technique. Although I'm torn between meh and good, I probably am going to have to lean towards meh, just because I remember and know where she once was. Gallant. Again, I've butchered the name, but I'm good at that, so at least I'm good at something. No doubt she does produce some good stuff. It is a little limited. She's a big fan of movements that I'm personally not a massive fan of. Comparatively, there are better options and better people to follow, so for that reason, I'm probably going to have to go with meh again. Naturally, Stefanie produces some great vegan recipes, especially on her blog. Yeah, she does promote good information surrounding compound movements and performing them. That's great. In a lot of cases, her technique does need a bit of work, and I have addressed this previously. And when she is doing banded stuff, especially when I saw one of her squat videos, the band was way too high. Because if the band is at the hips, you're not really getting the full benefit of utilizing that band, especially when it comes to external rotation, when you're focusing on keeping your knees out and working on firing the glutes to help keep them out, putting the band much lower down towards maybe mid or lower thigh is going to be far more beneficial, and it's also going to be far more challenging. For now, I'm going to go meh, but it could easily end up in good. KK Fit twins. So obviously there's two of them. In a lot of cases, fantastic movement selection, and they are incredibly strong. They're great advocates when it comes to females lifting heavy. Their technique is pretty spot on in most cases. I was actually really impressed. Straight up at the top. They're out there. Oh, why? It's falling down again. Price to pay when you're trying to be beautiful, isn't it? I'll tell you that. Trying being the key word there. Trying. Definitely not succeeding. Rachel John. I've seen a few videos, one of which was a squat failure video. The technique was very odd. The depth was nowhere near. Granted, it was 1 rep max, but even there, you just still try and hit depth. She does promote compound movements and lifting heavy, great. And she does provide some good home workout examples. Purely because of the technique that I saw, I'm going to lean towards brass. If I didn't see that, it'd probably be meh. I feel like if there was more informative content, it would probably be meh to good. All right, the last one, Saffron Barker. If you like entertainment and vloggers, then she's probably a great person to follow. Probably good to top tier because she's doing a lot in her videos. Purely because of the lack of workout content and information, I'm going to say brass. Every influencer has their goal, has their direction, has their kind of target audience, who they're trying to help and why they're trying to help them. I'm purely basing off of my desires and my direction, but this may not align with everyone's. I appreciate the fact that all of them have successfully encouraged people to live more active and healthy lifestyles. And it's for that reason I don't think anyone really justifies going to the bottom tier, because they are trying to do what they can to help, and I do respect that, I do appreciate that. You don't have to agree with everything I've said. You may even disagree with everything I've said. And if you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'd love to hear the kind of people you like to follow and potentially don't like to follow and why. But now the tier list is there, we're going to crack on the comment question of the week. Jean Shelby asks, should you work out if you're sore, and how do you know if you're overtraining? I think these are two fantastic questions, and I think these are questions that probably should be addressed. Yes, you can work out if you're sore. Training when sore can actually promote recovery and ease the soreness, so that's always a good time. But again, if you're so sore you can barely move, might be worth having an extra rest day and just delaying the workout by a day. But if you feel like you aren't too sore and could probably train through it, obviously listen to your body, but training when sore isn't a bad thing. And how do you know if you're overtraining? So overtraining is actually a lot harder to do than people realize. A lot of overtraining essentially comes from CNS fatigue, being central nervous system. So if you are lifting heavy with a lot of volume consistently and frequently, and this is very much dependent on the person, different people experience overtraining differently. Personally for me, when I feel like I am pushing towards overtraining and maybe need a deload, which is doing less than you would normally, I like to do about 60% for 3 to 4 days. I often find myself, I feel very tired. I feel like my workouts are suffering, my motivation's suffering, and my body just doesn't feel there. Another great means of assessing whether you're overtraining is if you are actually regressing. So if you go to the gym and you have a bad day, it's a bad day. But if you struggle to match numbers and maybe even lift less for a little while, maybe I would consider, is it time for a deload? But you also have to consider our external factors in check. Are you eating properly? Are you sleeping well? Are you hydrated? How's stress been? Provided they're all managed well, your body will tell you when you're overtraining. That's it. That's the video. As I said previously, 150 likes if you like the video, and I'll make more of them. If you haven't already, subscribe by clicking the red button down below and the little bell next to it, you know, with the big smile and happy in public, you know. And if you do have a question you want me to answer in the next comment question of the week, drop it down below in the comment section and I shall do so. Whether you agreed or disagreed with what I said, I'd love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and I also appreciate you for tolerating my headwear choices. Thank you for tolerating the video.